just like the wedding. Good morning, everyone. I wanted to bring attention to our community about a really significant investigation that involved a lot of collaboration with our partner agencies and a lot of good police work. Just to let everyone know how much of an impact we're having on a daily basis and how the partnerships are working here in Fargo and Cass County. I just want to start out with just introducing the folks behind me, just so you have some reference points here. Detective Brent Malone in our Criminal Investigations Division. Officer Nathan Lindstead works night shift. Lieutenant Jared Crane, he's a supervisor in our Criminal Investigation Division. Captain Tim Brigaman from Cass County Sheriff. Assistant Chief Stefanowitz from Fargo PD. And Assistant Chief Pete Nielsen from West Fargo PD. State's Attorney Kim Hegvik. And our captain in criminal investigations, George Vinson. So what we're looking at on this map is a series of well over 30, 35 plus business burglaries that occurred, many in the city of Fargo, but across the county and in the other jurisdictions, starting in November of 2021 through December of 2021. And as these business burglaries were coming to our attention, we could see that there was a similar modus operandi. They were targeting money, safes, things of that nature. The point of entry and the tools were all very similar. We learned that this was occurring not just in the city of Fargo, but in other jurisdictions as well. And in December of 2021, we put together kind of a collaborative task force. Lieutenant Crane was in charge of putting that together and networking with our West Fargo and Cass County partners. Each of these agencies put personnel into this task force to start to address this obvious burglary spree that was going on. And these cases easily total well over $100,000 in loss for these business owners. So a very significant group of crimes by a small group of individuals. So as the collaboration and task force was ramping up, on our department side, Detective Malone kind of spearheaded that operation along with other personnel. And so he was working very heavily on the cases, the evidence, and starting to put pieces together. And between our agencies, we collected a lot of intelligence and started to get a picture of who we thought might be involved. But as luck would have it, and this happens in many instances, the significance of what a uniform officer can do on a patrol on any given day, and this is something that our officers do on a regular basis that most people aren't aware of, is really what brought this thing to fruition. So on December 28th, 2021, if you think back to December 28th, it's colder than this. It was about minus 30. Snow was at thigh-length level. 2:44 in the morning, and Officer Lindstead gets sent to a possible drunk driver with a car stuck in the snow, a different part of the city. Pretty simple call, right? You would call it routine. As he's pulling up, the guy exits the vehicle, and Officer Lindstead calls to him to come over by him, and the guy flees on foot through the snow. So you would probably think, well, it's 2:44 in the morning, the snow's up to my thigh, it's minus 30, most people are home in bed snoozing away. Are the cops really chasing this guy? Yeah, we are. Officer Lindstead, through the snow, minus 30, chases this guy, not only through the snow into a yard, through a house, out the other side of the house, and into the front yard, where he's captured with the assistance of other officers. After he's placed in custody, we go back to the vehicle, and we can discover that, because the intelligence was passed out to the officers, they look in the vehicle and identify burglarious tools and things that look to be connected to this burglary crew, and ultimately were. And the individual arrested, Shelby Witt, ultimately has pled guilty to a total of 32 of those burglaries. He is currently getting prepared to go to prison for a period of time, thanks to the assistance of our state's attorney's office, who we work with throughout the course of this investigation, and who is also still looking at some other co-actors who were involved. So this was a group of people responsible for a large amount of crimes. And again, I think the big message to our community is just that property crimes are a significant issue in Fargo and Cass County and West Fargo, and so we pay some great attention to them. But there's a small amount of people that are responsible for a lot of crimes, and this is a perfect example of Shelby Witt and a couple other people committing well over 30 burglaries of businesses, costing our business owners well over $100,000 plus in loss. but then through the great work of collaborative efforts of our departments and really good work of a patrol officer out on the street with the commitment and the desire to go and do their job when maybe others wouldn't think that's a great idea, brought that to fruition. That arrest really broke things wide open and allowed us to put this together. So I think we just want to recognize the good work that everyone has done here in organizing this, the partnership, and let the community know that this has kind of been brought to fruition. Happy to take any questions.
Really, is there maybe a continuation you're looking into here? I mean, obviously, over 30 burglaries, a baffling number. Is there anything further to this investigation that you're looking into now?
Well, there are some other co-actors at the state's attorney's offices completing their review and charging decisions on because he wasn't in this on his own. So I think we anticipate some future charges for some other folks that were part of this crew. At this juncture, if we can recover any other property, we would do that. A lot of what was taken was cash, which unfortunately was dispersed by the suspect and suspects for other illegal activities and other things that they did with the cash. So that's likely not recoverable.
And then I guess just talk about this collaboration across communities here. Not only in this example, but do you have other examples of just collaboration like this? Obviously, this isn't the only one. And is there anything else you're collaborating on here in the future?
Sure. Well, I mean, we do have a great working relationship across the agencies in the county here, which helps all of us. This is not, criminals don't necessarily operate by jurisdictional boundaries. And one of the things that I think many of us, and specifically in our department, we've got 3 really excellent crime analysts in place now that started in January, and we're creating kind of, we'd like to create kind of a regional intelligence hub to help that intelligence pipeline flow freely between the other agencies and our agency, and identifying not just like crimes in Fargo, but like crimes that are in adjoining jurisdictions. And so I would anticipate future collaborations as intelligence identifies those types of trends. But again, I think we all know just from the knowledge of criminal justice and law enforcement that there's a small amount that are doing a lot of things, and until they get caught, they usually continue to do them. So it's kind of an important effort.
And then I know we've moved past, or it's been a couple months now since this arrest, or a little bit of time. Is there anything new we could share today, with the public, or is the main focus here just this collaboration?
I think the main focus is just letting the public know that the collaboration, we brought it to fruition. I think the next steps are likely the charges of the co-actors once the state's attorney is ready. Okay, thank you. All these folks are available. I don't know if you want to talk to any of them, but just work with Greg and he'll walk through. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Nice job.